Well, welcome back then to TTTV. This is Commentators Corner for TTL F1 after that eventful penultimate round of the season at the USA. Well, Andy, the gap between the two championship rivals now extends to 9 points, with Lyronix grabbing second place, Spike grabbing third. You've been trying to do the quick maths because we booted me off because I'm so terrible at it. But what you basically told me, Andy, is that for Spike it's win or bust.
That's the easiest way. I mean, there will be other permutations which I'm not quick enough at doing. The simple way of looking at it is if Spike wins, he'll end up with 199 points. If Lyronix comes in third, he'd end up with 198 points. And even if Lyronix came third and got the fastest lap and they tie at 199, as you mentioned, Spike has already got more wins, 3-2, I believe, and he'd end up with more anyway because he'd end up with a fourth one if he wins. So that's the easiest permutation, win the race. Lyronix then has to finish second. There will be other permutations. I'm sure we'll figure them out between now and next Thursday night, because I've usually got plenty of time at work from time to time and I get bored, so I end up doing half of this stuff anyway. So I will do my best to work out the other ones, but the simplest one is Spike wins, Lyronix has to be second. Anything less than that, it's no game, and Spike will become a two-time champion. So it's going to be interesting next week.
It is going to be interesting. You're using my buzzword, Andy. Interesting. Interesting or
you
absolutely. Yeah. Well, we do have one of the championship contenders here in Commentators Corner. It is Spike. Spike, how are you tonight?
Good evening, gents. How are you?
We're not so bad. So qualifying then, 8th place on those medium tyres, with pretty much everyone around you but Lyronix on the soft tyres. I'm assuming that was the plan all along, to start on those mediums.
Absolutely, yeah. The soft tyres were melting for me in testing, so I had no choice but to be on the harder tyre of some description. I went out with on the hard tyres with I think I had 10 laps of fuel on board just to get a feel for the track. So I did 4 fast laps. Came in and then subsequently made a hash of my my medium lap, which meant I was still in the top 10, but it wasn't a very good lap.
And so it put you on 8th place for the grid then. You had some great battling with Lyronix early on, and it seemed like you wanted to follow him everywhere you went. Whatever move Lyronix was making, you made the same move about 2 corners later. Was it imperative that you stayed behind him as much as possible?
Yeah, I was looking to stay with him, obviously. Same strategy. I kind of screwed myself by they've really tightened up on the second to last corner on the inside for track limits, and I kept cutting slightly. And that's where I got my penalties from, so that kind of made it more difficult. So I decided to extend the first stint to see if Lyronix would perhaps run out of tyres with a couple of laps to go, but he didn't. So.
And of course, that 2 laps made all the difference actually, because Lyronix was then able to get a 5-second gap, something that you couldn't quite rectify. Obviously, Lyronix having the undercut, was that what decided your battle?
No, I honestly thought he'd pitted a bit early, lap 15, but I know he's good on his tyres, so for me, if I pitted on the next lap, I think my tyres would have overheated quite quickly. I left it as late as I could, basically, to try and avoid the overheating. I still had a little bit, but I managed to keep it under control.
And we head towards the season finale then. It's 9 points between you and Lyronix. You've been keeping a cool head when you get to Commentators Corner, saying if it happens, it happens. But there must be a sense of you could do this, a double world champion.
For me, if it was at what I believe is the spiritual home of the final race of the season, Brazil, I'd be quite confident. But we're going to Abu Dhabi, and that's possibly my worst track. So again, we'll just go out there and give it everything and see where we end up at the end.
Go on then, Andy. I know you've been itching to ask a question. I'm sure Spike is glad to see you.
Yeah, no, there's not really any question actually. I just want to apologise, because I was just talking about how you and Lyronix were on 2 warnings each, and you already had the 1 penalty, and you'd be trying your best not to get a second, and as soon as I said that, you got your second. So I just want to say sorry, and please don't lunge me.
Well, you're not the one driving the car, it's me, isn't it? So I got no issue with it.
I was cursing a lot of people tonight. It seemed any time I said something, things happened.
I must admit that was, even though the result didn't quite go my way, it was so much fun. It was great fun with Lyronix. He wasn't quite playing ball. Did you see? I was trying to get him to do a DRS train with me, but he wasn't really playing ball. So I started to break the gap towards the end of the stint, and then obviously he undercut me. But yeah, I was trying to get him to overtake me down the back straight, and then I'd overtake him on the front straight, and we just try and drag each other along, get the lap times up, so we could get a bit closer to Jack. But Jack was on a different planet again tonight. I think he needs to turn a certain something off to slow him down to the rest of us.
Well, you've done one bit there. You've actually just answered Recon's question in the chat, because he was asking if you and Lyronix were slipstreaming each other to gain time. So you were trying to do that, but your rival just wasn't fully playing ball then.
I don't know. Obviously, I can't speak for him. It just wasn't quite working because his traction wasn't very good out of the corner onto the back straight. So by the time he was passing me, he was still alongside me, so into the braking zone. Ideally, you want to be ahead of the car, but I was turning my RS down to try and get him to get past me before, but it wasn't quite working. So I think he probably at that point believed that we were actually fighting. I mean, I had more pace in the car, but I just felt I was trying to save the tyre. Because I had penalty already at that point, so my only option was really to go for because like I said, the tyres were melted if I'd come in earlier, so I had to go for a longer stint and see. Hope Lyronix, melted his tyres or ran out of tyres, or perhaps even a virtual safety car, maybe, or something that might have come into me. But no, it's all good. Like I said, I really enjoyed it.
Good stuff, fantastic.
Well, I just have one more question for you, Spike, and I want a one-word answer, and you can pick yes or no. When we head to Abu Dhabi next week, can you win?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it was one word, but it's not the word I wanted.
Can I win? Yes.
Oh. Well.
Will I win? I don't know. I doubt it. I'll give it all my all, but I don't like the circuit, especially the last sector. We said it before, as Kimi Räikkönen, I think, said it perfectly. The first two turns are good, the rest of the track is pretty rubbish. So I think Jack will be strong again, unless he decides to turn something off. And Lyronix is always fast. I mean, and I think Warren had some issues tonight because he was fast, but I don't know what happened to him during the race. But yeah, it was kind of the second half of the race was quite. After the first stop was quite sort of straightforward. Had a couple of cars to overtake, but obviously I had much fresher tyres at that point.
Well then, Spike. Obviously next week, championship finale. We look forward to seeing there. All I'll say is good luck, have fun, and let's see if you can bring it home, or let's see if Lyronix can grab his first title. Anyway, good luck to you, Spike. Thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome, guys. May the best man win next week, and awesome job as always, boys.
Thank you.
May the best man win. I think that's a perfect way to end this stream, Andy. In 1 week's time, we'll be finding out.
It's a great way to end that part of the stream, yes, but I'm going to impress you. I've worked out all the permutations.
Ooh, okay, go on then.
In between us interviewing Spike. So, we know the first one. Spike wins, Lyronix needs to be second. Nice and simple for that one. If Spike finishes in second, Lyronix needs P3. P4 in the fastest lap would leave them tied again. There's quite a lot of those down the order. P3 for Spike, Lyronix needs to be in fourth. If Spike ends up in fourth place, it needs to be sixth place or better for Lyronix. P5 for Spike, it needs to be 7 for better. If Spike ends up in P6, it needs to be P8 or better. If Spike's down in 7th, then he just needs to be in the point. Either fastest, well, it'd be top 10 it would need to be, because obviously fastest lap don't count outside of it. And if Spike is anything lower than 7th, then it's Lyronix's championship, no matter where he finishes. Obviously those are the unofficial permutations, because we know my maths is sometimes subject to change. But if I have done it right, and I believe I have, real quickly, that is the possibilities for next week.
Well, there you have it. So tune in next week and we'll find out how it all goes down for the final showdown at Abu Dhabi. May the best man win. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been Andy Campbell.
Take care of yourselves and we will see you next time.
Ta-da.